week and a half. Is it right? Yeah, a week and a half. Not been fun. Having to deal with this Kenworth, or this International, my bad. This International. Having a messed up air. Freaking marble slab for a bed. And the fact that I've been having to eat at a truck stops and fast food restaurants while I'm on the road because I can't bring any food. Because I don't have a refrigerator here and I don't have a microwave. Really annoying. And I hope you can hear me over the back windows being open. It's about 67 degrees, so it's not hot. But if I had all the windows closed, it would get stuffy and hot in here. So, my way of staying cool, leave the back windows open. They seem to pull a draft in through the floor, or onto the floor area. Only 2 days of work this week, well, 3. You count my drive to Indiana. But short week. Last week's chaotic foobarness of having to switch to this truck in the middle of the week and then getting next to no sleep the first 2 nights. And then the third night, well, the first night, basically no sleep because it was hot, and the mattress was hard, or thin. And then the second night I had the air, second day I had air, and then the air went out again on me. And then the air kind of worked on Friday night, but with the leaking condenser, not much to help. So I took off Monday and Tuesday, just trying to get some rest. I got up Monday and was ready to go, and I couldn't get this feeling of just exhaustion to go away. Hell, I'd sit down to have my breakfast, I nodded off. I got up, moved around, went back to sit down after I finished my breakfast, nodded off. Got up, made a big cup of coffee, started drinking it, nodded off. I was like, alright, if I'm doing this sitting here, I don't even want to know what this is going to do to me trying to drive a semi. So I was like, you know what, I've got sick time, I'm responsible for my driving, I'm going to take a personal day. Better. That mattress still sucks. All the windows open and like 40 degrees outside is nice. Nice. I left the pumper at home this week just because I thought I'd be switching trucks today. Called up yesterday, was like, hey, what truck done? They're like, what truck? And I'm like, da-da-da. And they're like, no, we're still waiting to get the water pump in. Installed, and I was like, well, will it be done Friday morning or Thursday morning? And she's like, no, you'll probably pick it up next week. And I was like, huh? Which I'm guessing the dude there might have better know that I come through this area twice a week, so my pickup days are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, I gotta finish this week out with this truck. with this truck. Which, with that being said, it means I'm not going to bring any food, so that I don't have to buy anything, because I don't have any way to keep it consistently cold. And these coolers with ice are not ideal, because the ice melts and then it gets into your food. I've been toying with the idea of a 12-volt cooler, but nothing I've read or seen anywhere says that you can treat a 12-volt cooler like a fridge. If that makes sense. Like, it keeps things cold, but it doesn't keep them like fridge cold. It just keeps them colder than the outside temperature. If anybody's got any experience with it, let me know. I'm gonna have to look that up, because I'm about to throw down some money on the 12-volt cooler so I can stop buying ice. That, and it'd be handy for road trips. It'd be handy to have a 12-volt cooler. Oh, I was watching Wheel Burner's video live last night. Started nodding off, so I only watched about an hour and a half of that. And to anybody that was watching, if you didn't understand my little useless knowledge tidbit, I'll reiterate that here. From what I recall of this name, now you not be right, but this is like a version of the origin. But if you've ever seen in hospitals and doctor's office that whole emblem, or that whole well, I guess it would be an emblem of the staff with usually 2 snakes curled around it, or sometimes 1. Those aren't really snakes. If you go by some of the origins of the symbol, they're worms. And early medieval time, I think, I want to say it was, there was I think it was a type of tapeworm, but it wasn't one that got into your stomach, or it may not even, might have been more like a botfly worm. That it would get into your skin and grow, and it'd be really painful, and it would create what looked like an open sore on your skin. Well, that was its mouth, I think, so it could breathe. And these things could be a couple inches to like a foot long inside of you. And back in those times, there really wasn't surgery. So the common practice for removing said worms was to slowly pull them out, like fractions of an inch over days, until you got the whole thing out. And the reason you had to go so slow is because if you pulled on it too hard, you could break off a piece of the worm and it'd be left inside you. And then we're talking infection and all this stuff that coincides with that, and then you would die. So that's, I believe, if I recall where and when I heard that, that was one of the stories for the origin of the rod and the snake. The most common one everybody's probably heard of is Hermes, the Greek god of thieves and doctors. Well, I think the term there back in the day it would be physician, because doctors used to be referred to as physicians. But yeah, Hermes' rod is 2 snakes, or his scepter is 2 snakes on a staff topped with wings. So, and when I was watching his live, I looked it up. I think I found it's called like a Guinea, like New Guinea worm disease or something like that. something that happens nowadays, but we have medications that treat it and a better way of removing them. I think it's kind of over there with like botfly. But yeah, it's really painful. It's really sore. And it takes days, if not weeks, to remove a worm. It's only Thursday. It's Thursday, and I've only worked basically a half a day, and I'm already tired. Of course, I didn't really sleep that well last night on these damn mattresses because I got smart and I grabbed the mattress from the top bunk, which is narrower, like width-wise. It's narrower. Like they look like they're the same size bunk. Why is one narrower about like 4 inches? So you can stack them, but you kind of got to center the smaller mattress under the bigger mattress. So it may just be time for me to go see a chiropractor. It seems like every couple of months I'll go to a chiropractor for about a month or two, and then I'll stop seeing them just because I get tired of going to their office on my days off. And I'm good for a while, and then my back starts hurting again. So I've got a TENS unit. I might put a TENS unit on my back this weekend, and then have someone walk on my back to help pop it. Hopefully I'll be able to hop on Brian's live this, I think he said Saturday, because my package finally arrived, and it only took me 4 months to send it off, considering I started making it back in December, and I just kept forgetting to mail it. But then I made Unfiltered and his wife a set of bracelets. So I had another reason to go to the mailbox. I got those set off. I think that's enough chit chat for now. This Highway 24 going from 65 to 57. You wouldn't think it's long, but it's a lot longer than you think. Well, it's Friday morning. I've got about 6 hours of driving today, and I'm already on the road, so that helps that. Just under 400 miles. I think I got the most decent sleep I'd ever gotten last night in this damn truck. I finally was comfortable. I ended up just throwing a pillow under my back, and that helped with that sore spot in my back, but then it got hot. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I finally got comfortable and it's hot. It was cold outside, but I had the door windows up because it was trying to rain. And then I was like, you know what, screw it. And I cracked them down about a quarter of the way. And then I went and laid down, and finally I got a draft coming through the truck. And I'm trying to figure out these whole 12-book coolers. I put a post up on my community tab. So if anybody sees that before they see this, thank you. But I keep seeing these 12-volt coolers at the truck stop. I think the cheapest one's like $130. And I know there's always that truck stop markup. God forbid truck stops not have a, what is it? It's got to be like a 20% markup. So I've wondered if I go to like Bass Pro Shop or something to find one. But I'm tired of buying ice, and I'm tired of getting screwed over for weeks like this where I'm always at a truck stop. Like 99% of the time I make it to a truck stop. So I can go in and use a microwave. I have no qualms about using the microwave at a truck stop. It's just the whole having food on the truck that you're not going to have to worry about going bad. Give yourself food poisoning or something to the effect. And I gotta figure something out. I've been trying to look up reviews and whatnot. From what I get, a 12-volt cooler isn't a refrigerator because it doesn't necessarily have, I'm guessing, a refrigeration unit in it. It's more or less uses moving air to cool the inside of the cooler. And as long as the outside temperature isn't like 150 degrees, everything inside of it can stay at a reasonable like 40 or like 30 to 50 degree range. Really what I want is not necessarily a Yeti cooler, but those square Yeti, like those square coolers that are deep and they've got a small footprint, because the cooler I have been using is a big Coleman or Igloo cooler, and it's like 3 feet long and like a foot wide, and like I sit that between my seats so I can reach in and grab my waters, and I'm not having to stop and go back to the fridge. But having that in the truck, it's like I'm having to climb over the damn thing to get back and forth, and it's a hassle. Which is why I kind of want one of those Yeti-ish, or like the Arctic, or the what is that? The Orca, something like that. I have an Orca coffee cup I really like. I paid like $30 for. I can see paying like $30 for a good tumbler. I don't want to pay $80 for a tumbler. I'm sorry, Yeti. Your shit ain't that special. So I'm not sure on that aspect. So anybody with a 12-volt cooler, let me know. Because I figured it's not just going to be a in the truck thing. It's going to be an investment for road trips, camping. Which I'll be honest, I don't plan on doing a lot of like sleeping on the ground camping. Assholes that cannot merge correctly. You don't just jump out to that left lane when I get over to give you room to get on. Impatient assholes. Don't even have their damn lights on in this fog. But I have plans to go up to Windrock eventually. have something that isn't ice based to keep drinks cold or food cold while we're out on the trail. Because from everything I've read, you out to Windrock, you can get to the point where you're like 2 hours. You're 2 hours from the nearest road. Like paved road, like from the nearest anything. So be ready to pee on a tree, and I'm guessing shit in the woods. You gotta love these people that just ride semis' asses instead of getting over it when they're trying to stop. Get over. Don't just back off. Get over. Hate stupid people. And now they're gonna do less than the speed limit because they're probably playing with their phone in hand. Quit playing with your phones, people. Quit playing with your phone. Yeah, I see it as something that I may not use all the time. Sorry about that. But it'd be investment. Speaking of sneezing, do you know why you can never keep your eyes open while you sneeze? Because the force of the pressure from the sneeze can actually make your eyes, I'm not going to say pop out, but it'll put pressure on them outwards. I've heard that multiple different variants. I've heard things from like Discovery Channel, Mythbusters, all those, like National Geographic, like all the science channels you can watch or whatever. You may not pop an eye out when you sneeze, but it does put forward pressure as if it was trying to squeeze your eye out. So your body's natural reaction is to close the eyes to kind of give a pressure seconds. Somebody do the math. And he's still pulling back. He's probably doing about 80. I don't understand with people's just blatant disregard for speed limits. It's like, you get in and just push the pedal to the floor and hold on. Or are you just that late because you didn't time manage? Or did you schedule loads so close together that you have no time unless you speed? Because there again, that's just piss poor planning. Someone explain that to me. Yes, I'm governed in 69, so I can only do about 69, 70 on a hill. But even if I wasn't, why is it worth speeding? I don't even speed my personal vehicle unless I'm passing. Now we got one of these grain haulers coming by. And I'll say it again, you grain haulers are some of the biggest assholes. If there's one driver on the road that is the biggest asshole with like some kind of superiority complex on top of an overinflated ego, it's you grain drivers. I get that you get paid by the load, and the more loads in the day you get paid, that is no excuse for you to do 80, 85 mile an hour in a 70 zone. Or better yet, doing like 70 and a 55 on those 2-lane roads. A couple weeks back, I actually had an argument with one of them. And he was, oh, you're just a company driver, blah, blah, blah. I own my truck. And I'm like, yeah. And you got to pay for all those fuel bills. You got to pay for all that maintenance bills. Yeah, you may have this truck. You may own it. You may profit. Whatever you do. But hey, end of the day, I get to take home all my check. You get to count your check up and see how much you got to pay in maintenance and fuel. And then you get to see what you take home and put in your pocket. He didn't say anything after that. He kind of shut up. He sounded like a young guy too, so I'm willing to bet he didn't buy that truck. That was Daddy's truck, and he's running it now. Like that tanker truck, easily a mile ahead of me, half a mile ahead of me, and still losing, or still like getting away. And this grain truck is easily half a mile away, quarter mile. He's like 2 yardsticks away. I can see up the road enough to see the yardsticks. Someone explain this to me. And it's not just the foreigners. More times than not, it's Joe Blow and Billy Bob. Hot rodding assholes that don't know how to do a speed limit is what's inevitably going to get us restricted here in the States. It's you hot rods that can't do a decent speed limit that's going to give us a government mandated nobody over 55, nobody over 65 speed limit. And then when you get out there and you drive like you normally 15 over. 15 over. You get pulled over, 15 over. That's a felony charge. Reckless endangerment. I'm willing to bet most of these trucks out here are doing about 20 over, if not more. And another thing, our tires are only rated for about 85 miles an hour. About. Well, that's my soapbox for now. Hopefully Will Burner is able to get home and goes live Saturday. Today is Friday the 28th, so that means Saturday the 29th. And if you don't know who Will Burner is, look him up. He's an interesting guy. He's a pretty cool dude for a snowbacker. Definitely somebody I'll be listening to and trying to find